Welcome. My name is Blaine Wright, and I am the acquisitions head to Motels Apartments and doing our weekly webinar. Glad that you are all here and ready to kick off a great 2025. So a little bit about us and our company. If you haven't seen our webinar before, we just kind of go through an overview of who we are and what we do. My name is Blaine Wright. I'm the acquisitions head executive for Motels Apartments. Basically, my job is to acquire assets for the company. And what we do is we take hospitality assets and we convert them into flexible living options for people, whether it's short-term, long-term, middle-term stays. So that's what we do. And we take these projects and beautify them, do what's called an add value to them, and make them into a great product for a tenant and also a great product for us as a company, where the returns are really good for these types of assets. And hospitality or multifamily, there's a shortage of housing really nationwide, especially in the metros we're going to talk about here. So I'm going to go through our presentation here. Share my screen here. One second. All right. So we are going to go through kind of what our buy box is for what we're looking for. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about our target market. So we're looking for properties, Dallas, in Texas and Arizona, and really the Southeast. We've primarily done deals in Texas, state of Texas, and then the state of Arizona. I'm actually based in the Phoenix metro area myself. Excuse me. Didn't know I was going to sneeze. I apologize. So we've done deals in Texas and Arizona. I'm just like I said, I'm based in the Phoenix metro area, and so is one of our founders as well. And so this is kind of where we all started. And right now we're going on year 5 here as we start the new year. And we have a property that we're working on right now that we're about 50-60% the way through in Brownsville, Texas. It's an 80+ unit Magnuson down in Brownsville, South Texas area, booming area. Lots of activity. SpaceX is down there, lots of new jobs, and the weather's very good. A little humid, but very good overall. And then we're also looking in the Southeast, different cities, North Carolina, Charlotte and Raleigh, Nashville, Tennessee, Miami, Orlando, Florida, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Jacksonville, and then we'll also look in the Atlanta metro area. And the reason for those target markets, just population migration in the United States. It's going from north to south. They're going to Sunbelt states. They're going to states that have it's more advantageous for business and for jobs. Also, for the weather, people like the sunshine and the heat. They want to get out of the snow. And that's just really what all of our research, and nationally, you'll see the population migration going from north to south. Okay, so what are we looking for at a property? So ideally age 1980s or newer. Question I always get, well, why 1980s or newer? Well, the reality is it's asbestos is the number one thing. Also aluminum wiring, things of that nature, galvanized piping. That's another reason. It's just the cost to be able to renovate a property that's 1980 or newer. It's just much less, just because we don't have all these other hurdles to go through. Now, not to say we wouldn't look at something. In fact, the Magnuson that the old Magnuson that we're working on in Brownsville, it's like a 70s property, but the deal came together, and the deal still penciled, and it was advantageous for us to proceed. So, room size, we really like a minimum of 300 square feet. And the other question I get, most rooms are 250. We're looking for oversized rooms, and that's because you're gonna get a kitchenette that's in there. So you're gonna get a sink, you're gonna get a stovetop, you're gonna get um, a stove, or excuse me, not stove, a dishwasher. So you have dishwasher, sink, cabinets, so your mini kitchenette, and then with all the other amenities inside the room, we've kind of gone over and different deals we've looked at. 300 square feet is really the minimum. Ideally, we would love something that's like 400 to 500 square feet. That would be just a home run for us. Amenities. So as I said before, Sunbelt states that we're looking at, obviously a pool would be a main amenity. Also, some type of workout and laundry facility would be another amenity, and maybe some flex space. Whether it's people work area, a meet and greet area, maybe rooms to have meetings that people can come in and hold meetings for their businesses. That's advantageous. And then the next is the room count. So we'd like to have at least 100 units. We will look at sub 100. Depending on the asset, but just the cost overall, to do 80 units per se versus doing like 100 units, the cost difference isn't much different. It's not much different enough, and we would rather have 20 more units than to have 80 units. So just for an example, we would look at sub 100. If the deal works, the deal works. And so we would take a look at it case by case. Room type, obviously we're flexible. If it has a kitchenette already in there, that is a grand slam for us, because that means we're just pulling out old and we're putting in new, and so that makes it faster, and it just more cost effective for us for what we're looking for. Building height, realistically, we're not going to look at anything higher than 4 stories. We've looked at different buildings in metro areas. Looked at one here in Phoenix about 5 months ago, and it was 4 stories, and I thought it was high. But it was in a largely urban, close to downtown environment, and so we probably wouldn't look at anything bigger than that. And then we also love to work with independent hoteliers, and we'll talk a little bit about why we like to work with independent hoteliers here in a second. Okay, so we talked about overall location as far as cities are concerned, but here's some what I call earmarks or things we look for. We're looking for major healthcare. We're looking for education opportunities, universities, even community colleges, where maybe some of our units can be used for student housing. That might be something to be an option. We look for major retailers and shopping centers. Obviously, if we could be within 1 to 2 miles, we're within walking distance. That's even better. And then we're looking for access to public transportation, whether that's bus, whether that's rail, to be able to facilitate people that are using the property to be able to use that. Some people that are going to be using our housing don't have a car and are reliant on public transportation. So that's something that we try to keep in mind. All right, so we also look for other want to be within 5 miles of the Costco's, the Sam's Clubs, the Targets, and some A-class retail. If that's around, we know we're in the right area, because these companies go into a very, very deep dive on traffic patterns and what they're looking for as far as having enough customers to be able to facilitate them having a profitable retail business. Okay, so proximity to an airport. Obviously we like to be within 5 miles. Depending on the major city, if you're talking the Dallas, the Phoenix, the Miami, these big large cities, there probably wouldn't be be as stringent on that 5 mile proximity. I live in the Phoenix metro area, and I'm about 25 miles, 20 miles to an airport, to my major airport in Phoenix. So, but it's just something that we try to keep in mind as we're looking in a major metro. Okay, so proximity requirements. So this is what we look for. We want to be within 1 to 5 miles of a hospital. We talked a little bit about universities. We want to be within that 1 to 5 mile circle. Shopping and retail, just talked about that as well, but we want to be within 1 to 5 miles. Medical, industrial, business, those are indicators of jobs as well. Obviously, 1 to 2 miles within public transportation. We want to be able to have our tenants, the people that are staying with us, be able to have an easy walk to be able to get to public transportation as needed. And then obviously the major retailers we just talked about, 1 to 5 miles of Costco, Target, Walmart. Actually, if it could be, within 1 to 2 miles, it would be even better. Okay, so how do we acquire our properties? So we can do cash. Though with cash, it won't be full retail. It'll be pretty discounted to be able to expedite a fast closing. The thing that we do the most is seller financing or creative transactions. That is pretty much all we've done. I think for the exception of one deal that was cash. We create a win-win transaction with seller financing. We can do takeover payments. We can do a wrap. There's lots of different options with creative financing. So that's what we would prefer, just because we can control all of the optics, all of the components of the transaction doing seller financing. Now, with that being said, we would be open to bank financing, but it takes longer. It's going to be a long due diligence. There has to be an appraisal or appraisals done, more than likely more than one. And it's going to be an extended escrow just because it takes a long time for a bank to make a financial decision on doing that. And so we don't like going that route. And also interest rates are high right now. And so, we don't usually get the biggest bang for our buck by going that route. But if the numbers work, the numbers work. And then the other thing that we're open to is doing a joint venture with the current owner, be a co-general partner with us, while we bring in the cash to for renovations and redo the branding and things of that nature. There's lots of different things we can do with a joint venture. There's a plethora of different things, just depending on what the seller or the owner would be willing to do. Okay. So basically, this is basically how we look at a property. We identify different properties. I look at properties every day, just trying to identify possible properties that would meet our target criteria. Then we evaluate those properties as far as location, and then the cost of redevelopment. What's it going to take to get it to what we need it, and then how long is that going to take? And then then we work on the acquisitions we require with a favorable terms to both parties, and then we complete the transaction, and then we start the process to transform the property. So ideally for us, we really want to get in and get something done within 12 months. That's our ideal goal. We really don't want to get into something that's going to take years and years. That's just not advantageous for us. And so we're looking for something that needs work, but it can be done, in 9 months to a year. That's kind of our ideal scenario is. All right. And so, that's the basic overview of what we're looking for. That's my phone number. That's actually my direct cell. You can call me, text me, emails info@motelsapartments.com. And then you can check us out on our website, motelsapartments.com. We even have a new brand that we're bringing on board here in 2025 called ParkRise. We started working on it end of last year. And that's actually what these properties will be marketed as a ParkRise flexible living asset. And so, we're going to be using that branding. And so we can create some momentum. And so when people see a ParkRise asset, they know what it's all about. So that's really the gist of who we are and what we do. So it was good talking to you. Hopefully everybody's having a great new year. And everybody had a great holiday season. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And even if you maybe not in our target market, maybe it's something that's in the Northeast or something, an area that we don't typically target. Feel free, when in doubt, go ahead and send us the deal. We'll more than happy to take a look at it. And hopefully we can be on the phone talking with you soon. Everyone have a nice day.
Welcome to your new home in McAllen, Texas.
This place used to be totally different. We took 29 motel rooms that were dated. Remember, these were built in the 50s, and we turned them around. We gutted these down to the studs. We replaced the electrical. We replaced the plumbing. We even added gas lines. And now we have a beautiful 29-unit multifamily. So bear with me, there's a lot that we're packaging into this one offer for the resident. In this motel to apartment conversion, we have sewer, water, trash, electric, internet, washer, dryer, dishwasher, microwave, oven, stove, all included for just one monthly fee.
Y no se preocupe, nosotros hablamos español. Go ahead and go to studiosonfourth.com, check out the floor plans that we have available, and submit your information. And just a friendly reminder, we have everything included: sewer, water, trash, electric, utilities, even fiber, high-speed internet. Submit your info and we'll get back to you. Welcome home.